Make sure you see. This was excellent. Congratulations, Becca, Wiese, and Lukas Beke to Houston Comedy Film Festival for your dark comedy screenplay, Angels Desired.
Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. I'm very happy to be speaking with you because you're all the way in Germany where my family lives right now.
Yes. Welcome. Hello. This is a little world. In the film world, everything is shrinking together, you know?
Yes, I love that we're able to cross borders and have these wonderful conversations. And I would love for you to share about your amazing screenplay that has received international awards. Can you tell
Yes.
everybody about Angel Desired?
Yes, Angel Desired came up in the pandemic when we, with all our actors, we have been 16 people around. We couldn't act in front of the public, and we were thinking, where's the future of us now? What can we do? And we said, okay, film is not forbidden. Film can be made, and so we had a theater play, and in this theater play about from Anton Chekhov, a very famous one, The Seagull. In this, we were working with our actors on that play, and then we couldn't come out in front of public, and then we said, okay, we could make the shift to write a screenplay for 35 speaking roles that are going from doing a not so good theater production into a great film.
Mm.
That was yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, and I was gonna say, when it came down to the script, when it came down to the rehearsals and casting, you spoke a lot in the script, almost like about the behind the scenes and the creation with it whenever you were in the process, which is very different compared to other films.
Yes,
Where did you take that direction?
yes. We were very wondering that we have acknowledged so much in the world, because I was thinking in the beginning the screenplay is too complicated for someone who is not coming from our experience here. And I was very wondering about all this high pricing everywhere, and that people could understand that this is not a normal screenplay, and that is a special thing to do. This is amazing for us still. I knew the screenplay is good, but I didn't know that we are able to have this communicated in the English-speaking world so much. And of course, maybe Becca, you can say something to you.
Yeah. Well, the reason why we approached the screenplay the way we did, I say, is because we know this side of the profession and of the work the best, and we thought we start with what we have and then we continue, and then we just tell a story from where we are right now and what is actually happening true to life, and that is also very much how we approached the entire script, the writing process, the translation itself as well. It was just very much a where are we, what's happening, and where do we take it from here situation.
Yeah, maybe it's good to say that Becca did the English translation, because the original screenplay is in German.
Yeah.
And we put it on the international market in English, and the most price, because in Germany there's not the screenplay market like we have in the world.
No.
It's more money coming from the government to films. It's another way. You don't start with the screenplay, you start with a project. Yeah. And so this was amazing, because Becca, you studied in London before?
Yes, I did.
And you started making film and making subtitles in film, so the language of film. So I had a poetic translation from our screenplay into English from an English-speaking woman. What's very important for the screenplay.
It was poetic, almost also stand-up comedy, and then also war. So there's lots of emotions that take place all together. How did you overcome those challenges of getting that emotion from German to English? Because I'm thinking of different layers. You know what I mean? It's like stand-up comedy, it's war, and then love. That's a lot of emotion all together. And whenever you're trying to portray that message and cross borders, how did you do that?
That's a very good question. I'm not too sure I know myself.
Yeah.
Well, it really helped that I was involved in the screenwriting process in German as well, because we were a couple of co-authors that sort of like provided ideas and input from different sides, which then Lukas all took into consideration and then sort of like managed to bring together into the piece that the script is. And since I was involved in that process, I sort of could understand better, or I guess like peel away the heart, the soul of what the script is. And because the thing is with translation, you always have translation loss. There's no way around it. That it's just it's part of the trade. You can never ever provide an exact translation. That is just impossible. But you can try to get as close as possible, and the better you know the source material, and not just the words, but like what it means, what it stands for, what it is trying to convey, or what different understandings of the world and what different perspectives of the world this screenplay provides, then you can try to sort of navigate the same plurality in meaning and in, I guess, poetic translation in the source language and in the target language.
I definitely will say that I have personally had very awkward moments in translation when Google Translate failed me
Yeah.
tremendously. Tremendously.
Yes.
So definitely kudos to you on that. And when it comes down to where you see this in the marketplace, if you were to see this on a screen, or do you have any three films that you would say this would relate to when you see this on the big screen or
No,
series?
we had a big I have a film, and then became our most famous film that was like a guideline. This was Federico Fellini did in Italy, eight and a half. This is a film he made when he had a crisis in directing. And many filmmakers find this film one of the most important films of the 50 most famous films ever made. Because in this film, he went such a strange, wild, artistic road. Normally, screenplays are more written in a concept of a story. And in this film, Federico Fellini, he was like painting around his experiences in Italy about religion, about making love, about this special taste and smells of Rome, and the environments there, and the experiences he had as a young boy on the beach and with his parents. And there it came out a film. Marcello Mastroianni played the main part.
Yes.
So this film is a black and white movie, and he had the faith to go wild with the screenplay and not to be so easy for the filmmaking. So we said, okay, this is a good example where we could go, because we are in the arts. We had been 35 speaking roles in the film, and we made the decision with this co-writing of 10 people writing the first screenplay, the basic screenplay. We said, okay, let's think what is important for the world in 4 or 5 years when our film comes out.
Yeah.
And in this, it became very important that the film is dreamed by a young teenager who is dreaming her life until she later then becomes a successful moderator in her own press conference of her own film she dreamed, you know? So the film is about a dreaming girl who is dreaming to be together with her parents. Then later, I don't want to say too much about this, but there's that are happening tragedies to this family. So in the end of the film, you have really the question if this father and if the mother really lived with her together, or if that was only in her dreaming. And in real life, she lost them. Yes. So under this black comedy thing, she's dreaming to be an artist together with much more artists, an artistic family who is doing productions and who is doing this film. And then everything what is on a film set is happening, like disaster in rehearsal, like falling in love, not knowing where to go, a director who is failing his vision, a main actress who's always running away and is somewhere else. Nobody can find her because she's a runner. So in all these crazy things about making films, there is so much humor and so much tragedy in the same time. You know, this dream about the failing parent, the missing parents in her life, and at the same time this artistic hunger to mix everything when you are young and to bring things together and to have a party and to have an overcoming of all sensations. And how is somebody who is young and growing as a woman in the moment in this world is dealing with all of that? That's very much in the center of the film. And then yeah, we had this strange things in the story that the angel Gabriel is coming with 3 influencer coming down from heaven down to earth, because this 3 girls, they died when they had been young childs, and then the heaven is saying you have to go back to the world, you have to know what is living, because when you are an angel you have to know human beings, you have to be with them, you have to love them, you have to be able to know what their experience of living is. Go back to earth, learn that, and then come back.
Angels with like walkie-talkies, like the casting.
Yeah, it's like they are coming and they are learning to live. They have sensational experiences together with Naja. That's the main girl in the film. And of course, this is very funny because in the beginning of the film, they start to do explorations in a big black man toilet. You know, that's their first place to come into life. And of course, they don't know how to deal with this, and they don't know what is it, and they start slowly they start to touch, to meet water. Then a man comes in to pee in this toilet, and they look to him and they cannot believe what they see, because in heaven this is not happening. And so there's a very funny beginning in the film. We see the central who's doing the whole movie with all the problems that you have when you shoot a dream. Shooting a dream is not a normal shooting. It's very complicated in the art design of all sets. And yeah, that was the beginning. And it became very strange because I was many times in my life in Creta, in Greece. Uh-huh. And there's the story of the Minotaurus. And when you see I have the book here, when you see the picture, see here, you see the black male Minotaurus, yes?
Yes.
And then an artistic friend of me, a woman in Berlin, she made a statue like this from a Minotaurus, the woman as a Minotaurus. So I was thinking, okay, this is like in our time, we are going from looking to the man. Now we start to look to woman. What is their part in life? What is their way to go? And how can we help women to be in the same acknowledgement than men? So the whole film is made like this, that even the horror in the back of the film is having not only a male face, it has a female face also. So there are so many dimensions in the film mixing in a crazy way. And of course, we are filming in many, many countries. So in France, in Greece, in Canary Islands, in north of Germany, in different places, because we decided to go in 2 strategies. One strategy is that we don't give up to do the film. So when nobody wants to produce the film, we produce a film, and we do a film production, and we bring the film to the festivals where we came now with the screenplay. Yeah. And the second strategy is that an international production comes and is saying, okay, we want to do the film with you. But as you know, in the moment in our life, we don't know that. And we didn't want to become actors who are waiting to become successful. So we are doing everything already to do the whole production alone, but we are holding the film back in making it, because we could finish it to 2028 for the Berlinale in Germany.
Okay.
But we are waiting, if we are not giving out any material of this, because we want to see if an international production has a hot taste for this screenplay also, and then we would go that way. But we have been with 60 actors all over the world in all these different places. and already we finished to shoot the whole film. It's done.
Okay.
So we are now going to post-production with the film, but also with this eye and the ear to the world, maybe a miracle comes. But if it's not coming, we guarantee to finish, and we guarantee to be successful. So we are not thinking in maybe, or we are wishing. We go the way to guarantee, and that's, for us, it feels great, because films are not made like in 1 year. The way to make a film is 4 or 5 years of work, and you don't have many time in your life. So we have to, if we do it now, that's my second big movie, we have to do it fully until it's finished in the cinema. Otherwise, we would have started to do the production.
Is there any dream cast that you would like to be on this project, or anybody you would like to work with on this project?
Oh, I can imagine so many actors, Roselyn. This is so crazy. I could have the most famous cast in the world. I have a wonderful role for Kate Blanchett. That she could be the mother from the director, having this love affairs everywhere, and the director could be so many famous actors in the moment. So I was already thinking to contact these people, but it's when I do this, in the same time I cancel our production. So we are listening to, how can you say this, Bestimmung?
To the calling.
To the calling, what should happen, but in the same time, and we have dreams, but in the same time, we guarantee every day our own work on this. So I could have a cast from 20 famous people in this film.
Okay.
That's not a problem to make. Also, if we do it in German, there are some very good actors, and in America, I don't need to speak to you about this. You know better than me. I could, in an international production, we could have really very different casts all over the worlds. Yeah, and because we worked, I think, on the screenplay 3 years. And radical, we did a pre-production of the screenplay in 2 years, and then I finished the screenplay flying to the countries in which we shoot.
Yeah.
And I wrote it there from the taste of the country and from the taste of the environment. So it's not, the screenplay is not an idea. It came together, everything came together in one unity that I love very much in films made in Hollywood, that they have this wonderful culture to bring a story in one thing that is being told.
Yes.
And I can imagine, believe me, really, 1,000 ways to go. We are in the shock that we don't feel locked, because we are in a creative process that is so open to everything. There's no way to be ashamed or blocked or waiting. We are going all the time. And every screenplay, every location in the world came like a gift. We found a castle in France. We have been in Creta. We were shooting in Knossos. We had a ship hall for a film town, because in the film is made in a film town, and the film town is 3,000 square meters, where you have all production parts of making a film, like
all the departments next to each other: makeup, costume, directing department, music. It's all like, just all of them have their little like part of the village that we set up, and we could physically do that. And people were just approaching us and making all this possible, because they saw, especially Lukas, with the screenplay together, and it was just so clear that this was gonna be happening, that this is gonna be a success in whatever way, that people were just like, yeah, we're gonna help. Yeah, sure. Of course you can shoot here.
Beautiful. It's a whole community that you have their support. And I know that naturally, they have emotional connection with you all. And so they're going to help promote. Can you share a little bit more advice to any filmmakers that are listening to this right now? Because I think that would help many people. What did you do any special sauce, anything special? Just being your natural self? What was it?
Say something.
I mean, I think it really came down to us just really believing in the project. Like, we just knew what we had on our hands was something that was worth creating. That it is something that wants to be created, that wants to come into being. And just through that air of belief and confidence, I guess, that we didn't give the screenplay gave us. People just sort of sensed that, and yeah, didn't doubt the commitment that we had to the project, and wanted to be part of it. It was just the screenplay itself, the project was infectious.
We went in a kind of trance meditation with the text, because I made a decision for my life. I trained martial arts 11 years to become a black belt in karate. I was meditating in Tibet 11 years in a monastery. I did acting with a Zen master from the actor studio about now 35 years. I do Qigong, I do Tai Chi, I teach every day 8 to 12 hours about this. And I made a decision to finalize my life in some way, to not write my ideas into the text. The text, in a very strange way, wrote himself. So I tried not that I'm not the author of the screenplay. I can say I was the medium in which the screenplay was happened into its form. So, and it happened, really, it happened. And so in all of this, I have such a deep respect for people who want to do film and who are producing and who are writing and then hoping to have the production done. I have to be careful not to be, it's not the point to be arrogant in this, because it's maybe the most difficult thing in life to have a screenplay really done into a version for cinema in a full production. Without all my team, I cannot think that this could have been happened. So we started with being a community of artists who stood together in hard times, in good times, in on parties, and also in the morning when we had to get up. And we had
some good parties, I see.
Yes. When I think what the film would cost in the normal film industry, I think it's about 5 million. And
More.
yeah, or more. And we did it with every equipment we had for 250,000 euro.
Wow.
So for nearly, that's, film, and you know how expensive film is, but we bought a camera, we bought the light production, that's it. The rest we have done by ourselves. Even the 300 costumes we found was made by our teams, and all the art departments was made in our building we have here for our artistic campus, right?
Yeah, we had such incredibly talented people on the team, like such creative people. We have had insane scenes being set up. We've had people who build props that are 3 meters high, just from our, they say it takes a village, and that goes for filmmaking as well. And we happen to have a great village that could support us in a very tightly knit way. And everybody who was part of it was really part of it with their heart and soul at the time.
So,
Sorry.
Yeah, I would say go there and then start with the things that are possible. Don't wait with the things that are not possible. You have to have a flow in believing into that there is a mystery how a film is made, and that you have to go the steps, step after step. That is the next step. And it's strange. If you go it in a physical way, it comes. Yeah. But if you think, if you doubt, if you wait, you lose all the pace into this. And then it's becoming a 10-year long story, and it's painful, and it's then not anymore fun to do. So in our modern times, we are all overwhelmed with technical things we have to do. We have emails, we have to do text messaging, we have to do all the stuff all the time. And so we have to go quickly to make something possible as a concrete, very concrete step. And we did this with the whole team. And it's rebirthing possibilities you cannot imagine before. You have to start to do the race and not wait anymore. You have to just wake up for where can a way be, and not which way we can't do. Yeah. Don't go there. go in the things that are possible. And then in your life, there comes one model, then comes the other module, then this is happening, then we go there, then we do this. And then we have also in the end a strange screenplay that has a new language and a new kind of theme and another way to deal with film. Because human beings, we cannot be on a point and think we know everything. We are in the beginning of explorations about the unknown, you know? And we have to make this alive every day, to not go where we believe. We need to go where it's calling us. This is what you said, where the world is wanting us to be.
Yeah.
And we are listening very strong in the whole team to this.
I'm smiling because just like your script, you speak very poetic.
That's true.
And as you're speaking, I'm just leaning in and I'm leaning in. And
Yes.
I also want to just say this, just referencing back to, again, as you're speaking, this is so beautiful as you speak. Even within your script, you even reference a lot going back into time. You reference time and even possibly running out of time. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that? Because again, you reference time a lot throughout the script.
Yeah, this is something. When I became a young boy and I went the first time to cinema, that is catching my soul, that in a film you see something like forever. You don't see time in its ordering of time. You see time as a universal record time, you know? It's like the studios think in a universal presence. You bring a story into a unity that is so big that everybody is part of it. Everybody on the whole globe could be part of the film in seeing it. Yeah, you create a unity of experience for people. And when we put up the lamp in the cinema, or when we are going on the stage, it's always the same. Time stops. And people are for a moment not in the pain of having to live. They are in the joy of endless and timeless experience. Yes, so we are then coming into a 4-dimensional or 5-dimensional space. And people are hungry for it. It's healing them. It's holiday. It's making deep explorations possible. And it's an inspiration for our daily life to pep it up with the possibility of the arts to make even our lives a mystery, a way of mystery and wondering and finding all the time things we didn't expect and we didn't see in the morning when we woke up.
Wow. This is great. This is great.
Yeah,
I'm just like, man, what else you got going on outside of this script? Like, geez, Lukas, you are so deep.
yes.
I can tell that there's just so much, and there's just so much wisdom you have within. Goodness, Lukas Beke, how can people stay in connection with you?
We have actually founded a company which goes by Cinesky Global. It's a production company, an international production company that we are at the moment setting up to be the main focus point and the main crossroads for this and future projects.
Yeah.
I love
So
it. I'll definitely share your information so that way people will see. And so I'll take care of you. Don't worry, I got you. Look, what you see? This was excellent.